Genesis is one of the most impressive puzzles that excite people's minds for centuries. There are plenty of ideas on the subject, from ancient writings to the theory of evolution. A common constant thing in all these disputes is that Genesis is of the same age as humankind. It existed while people were making their first steps. And music, the queen of the arts, was the spiritual language of the material world from ancient times. Only music can help us understand the secrets of being. Baruch Berliner is a famous Israeli scientist and author of books on economics. He received a doctoral degree in mathematics at the University of Zurich. He delivers lectures at the world's leading universities and teaches at Tel Aviv University. All his life is devoted to the most complicated calculations and numbers. He also found his inspiration in poetry, as Berliner writes poetry in Hebrew, German, and English, and publishes collections. However, among these hobbies, the master found time for the violin, the love of his childhood. When he became older, he found that he feels mathematics in music and music in mathematics. In 1994, Berliner met the musician and teacher Nahum Slutzker, and this is how their musical history began.
Итак, с Барухом Берлинером мы дружим, общаемся где-то уже более 27 лет.
I have known Baruch Berliner for some 27 years now. He is a famous mathematician and philosopher. He became interested in music. At the beginning, I taught him. Then this friendship grew into a professional friendship, and we worked on Genesis together. Each of us has brought something to this work, and now you can see the result of our collaboration. Now this work is performed all over the world.
А результат, так сказать, налицо. Произведение, которое ездит сегодня уже по всему миру.
Genesis is the name of the symphonic work which the Israeli composer presented when he first came to the capital of Kazakhstan. The Academy of Soloists State Orchestra performed the music about the creation of the universe with guest conductor Mikhail Kirchhoff. The poem is berformed in 3 versions: for the chamber orchestra, for the symphony orchestra, and symphonic rock version. Berliner is the author of several major works and chamber series. His music is performed in Israel, Europe, Asia, and the United States. The symphonic poem Genesis is the composer's major work for the orchestra and reader. As the composer admits, the Bible and music touch upon the human soul. The 7 parts of the poem tell about the order of creation of life. From the first chapter, the overture, the stages of creation are successfully revealed. Adam and Eve, the fall and exile, Cain and Abel, Noah, flood, testament, and union. Genesis was written about 13 years ago. Its creation took 3.5 years. I am a mathematician by profession, so maybe that's why this process took longer. First of all, the main idea is to bring people closer to the Bible through music so that they can better understand the scriptures. As far as I know, this is the first combination of such kind. There are many different aspects to the creation of the world, but the aspect that interests me especially is that man was created from the type of God, which gave him the opportunity to choose. Choice makes a person free. A person can make a choice between good and evil, and therefore good and evil are inherent in God. For this, the Bible also noted the rule of choice. Evil constantly tempts a person, leads him or her away from the true path. There is a good example, the 4th part of the poem, Cain and Abel, the story of the first murder in the history of mankind. Despite technological development, man has not changed. Evil unfortunately wins sometimes. The author refers to the Holocaust and World Wars. And yet, in spite of everything, the composer ends the symphonic poem optimistically.
Так Бог сказал мною о радуге. Это знак завета, знак союза, который я теперь утверждаю между мной и всеми живущими на земле.
Berlin refers to the system, which is of a biblical nature in most cases. Another piece presented at the concert is associated with the legend of Jacob's dream. Jacob, who went in search of his wife, saw a staircase going up to heaven in a dream. The Lord stood on the staircase and promised him rich offspring. Most people don't know the plot, but this does not interfere with the music that evokes different emotions. The invited soloist of the concert is the world-famous musician Alexei Ludwig, professor of the St. Petersburg Conservatory and founder of the St. Petersburg Chamber Orchestra. He has a warm professional relationship with the Academy of Soloists Orchestra.
Помните, год назад мы встречались в Петербурге, и с Айман Карабековной мы исполняли концертную симфонию Моцарта.
As you remember, a year ago when we met in St. Petersburg, Ayman Musakhodjaeva and I performed Mozart's Concert Symphony at the Conservatory Week Festival. Before that, I was in the jury of Shabit competition, and prior to that, I performed in the theater. So that's why I have already visited Kazakhstan and worked with the Kazakh musicians. To tell you the truth, it is a great pleasure to come to Kazakhstan. Alexei Ludwig is a welcome guest at the world's most acclaimed festivals. His performance on the Italian instrument by Antonio Mariani of 1661 is impossible to forget. The composer Berliner even changed the concept of the symphony for him.
Это было написано для виолончели, но тут же автор решил, что это скорее будет лучше звучать на альте, поэтому...
Initially, it was written for a cello, but then the author decided that it would probably performed better by the viola. Therefore, it has also been transformed, also in general, like Genesis itself. This is a great work, and it changes from concert to concert. Everything changes and it acquires some new vision. Like Stravinsky, he has many works in 10 different versions.
Ну, как у Стравинского, у него там как многие произведения в 10 различных версиях.
The soloist demonstrates a high level of performance skills as well as the orchestra musicians. Academy of Soloists Orchestra always demonstrates high artistic level. The idea to create an orchestra belongs to the People's Artist of Kazakhstan and outstanding violinist Ayman Musakhodjaeva. It was founded in 1991. The main mission of the orchestra is given in its name, Academy of Soloists. That is the company of talented performers who play music together, but each of them is a virtuoso soloist.
Mikhail Kirchhoff introduces an interactive element into the concert. When a joyful melody begins, the conductor starts dancing, urging the audience to support the performers. In this way, the creators of music immerse the audience in an atmosphere of joint understanding of the philosophy of creation of the world.
Music combines with the words from the Jewish Bible, Torah. The original phrases are in Hebrew, but the text is adapted to the language of the host country during the tour performances. In Kazakhstan, the public heard them in a Russian translation performed by the actor of the Gorky Russian Drama Theatre, Sergei Matviev.
Всегда жанр чтец и симфонический оркестр у меня.
It was a completely unexpected call with a proposal. I was glad to accept this offer. The reader and symphony orchestra genre has always attracted me, and I really wanted to work in this direction. So my dream came true, and my first acquaintance with this genre took place in Astana Opera House, when I was invited there as a reader about the fairy tale Peter and the Wolf by Prokofiev. This music is so amazing. As an actor and director, I immediately figured out where it can be used as illustrative background music, because it has very deep meaning. The compositions created by the Israeli composer Baruch Berliner are inspiring and simple, but at the same time they are full of expression, which responds to the hearts of the audience. The musicians also express desire to continue cooperation.
Сейчас, к сожалению, в основном современные композиторы забыли о том, для кого они пишут музыку.
Now, unfortunately, most of the modern composers have forgotten who they are writing music for. More often, we only note the writing technique, which, in my opinion, has nothing to do with music. And the public does not understand why they came to the concert. And Baruch Berliner popularizes classical art among people.
Популяризирует классическое искусство в массы. Вот. Благодаря таким композиторам люди хотят приходить еще раз и еще раз, потому что эта музыка проникает в самую глубь.
Thanks to such composers, people want to come again and again because this music penetrates deep into the heart, soul. I really enjoyed being on stage, and I felt like I am the part of the universe that was around me. Every musician in the orchestra today played with their hearts. They did their best to perform at the high level.
Сказал Господь Каину: отчего ты так сильно разгневался, и почему поникло твое лицо? Ведь если будешь добро творить, простится тебе.
To date, Genesis has already been performed in 9 languages in the United States, Poland, France, Austria, Serbia, Bulgaria, Armenia, Moldova, Russia, and Kazakhstan. The mission of the project is to stage this work in all languages of the world.
Я думаю, что в связи с очень успешным сотрудничеством.
I think that due to the very successful collaboration with the orchestra and conductor of the orchestra, Mikhail, and with all this warm welcome, I'm sure that we will stage the next concert here in the big hall. Maybe it will even be a symphonic rock version, and surely the reader will read the story in the Kazakh language, I promise. Genesis became part of the biography of each participant in the concert. The audience, orchestra, and composer merged into a single action of creation, closer to understanding the divine purpose.